Most people think commercial divers spend their days exploring coral reefs. They don't. Most never see clear water at all. Instead, they work beneath cargo ships, inside hydroelectric dams, around offshore oil platforms, and in rivers so dark they can't even see their own hands. Every dive has a purpose. Every minute underwater costs money. Every mistake can become life-threatening. Commercial diving isn't a hobby turned into a career. It's one of the most demanding technical professions in the industrial world. Divers inspect bridges, repair underwater pipelines, recover heavy equipment, weld steel structures, maintain ships, and support massive construction projects that millions of people depend on every day. Getting into this career isn't easy. Before touching the water, every candidate must pass strict medical examinations. Strong lungs, a healthy heart, and excellent physical condition are essential. Underwater pressure affects the entire body, and even small health problems can become serious risks below the surface. Training begins long before the first professional dive. Students learn underwater physics, pressure, breathing systems, decompression theory, and emergency procedures. They also spend hours practicing communication, because every commercial diver remains connected to a surface team during the entire operation. Clear communication saves lives. The equipment is nothing like recreational scuba gear. Most commercial divers wear a heavy surface-supplied helmet connected to the surface by an umbilical cable. That single line delivers breathing gas, communication, power, and sometimes even heated water for cold environments. It is the diver's lifeline. Then comes the first descent. The excitement disappears quickly as the water becomes darker. Sunlight fades. Visibility drops. The sound of your own breathing fills the helmet. Within seconds, you're surrounded by nothing but black water. Many first-time commercial divers are surprised by one simple fact. Most jobs are completed almost entirely by touch. In muddy rivers and busy ports, visibility is often less than a foot. Instead of looking at the structure, divers feel every surface with their hands while building a mental picture of what they're working on. The first assignments are usually simple. Inspecting dock peelings. Removing debris. Checking underwater structures. Cleaning small sections of ship hulls. The work isn't glamorous, but every completed dive builds experience and confidence. Commercial diving is also far more physical than most people expect. Divers carry heavy equipment, climb ladders, work against strong currents, and spend hours performing precise tasks while wearing gear that can weigh more than 80 pounds on land. Endurance is just as important as technical skill. Safety quickly becomes part of every decision. Before every dive, the team reviews the entire operation step by step. Weather, water conditions, emergency plans, and equipment are checked repeatedly. Unlike many jobs, rushing never makes the work faster. It only makes it more dangerous. By the end of the first year, something changes. The helmet no longer feels intimidating. Working in cold, dark water becomes routine. The fear that once dominated every dive slowly turns into confidence. You stop thinking like a student and start thinking like a professional. But this is only the beginning. The real career starts when the dives become deeper, the projects become larger, and the responsibility becomes much greater. After gaining experience, divers begin taking on more demanding jobs. Instead of simple inspections, they're trusted with projects that keep ports, bridges, and power plants operating safely. Every assignment brings new challenges, and no two dives are ever exactly the same. One of the most common jobs is cleaning the hull of massive cargo ships. Marine growth creates drag, forcing ships to burn more fuel. Divers spend hours underwater removing barnacles, algae and debris while working beneath vessels that can weigh hundreds of thousands of tons. Next comes structural inspections. Bridges, docks, and underwater foundations must be checked regularly for cracks, corrosion, and damage. Engineers depend on the divers' reports before deciding whether repairs are needed. In many cases, the diver is the only person who will ever see those structures up close. Water conditions constantly change. One day the current is calm. The next, it's powerful enough to push a diver several feet off course. Cold temperatures, poor visibility, and underwater obstacles quickly become part of everyday work. Learning to stay calm under pressure is one of the most valuable skills a commercial diver can develop. As confidence grows, divers begin using specialized underwater tools. Hydraulic drills, grinders, impact wrenches, and cutting equipment allow them to perform repairs that would seem impossible below the surface. Every tool requires additional training, and every certification increases the diver's value to employers. Underwater welding is one of the biggest milestones in the career. It combines precision, engineering, and years of practice. Welding underwater isn't just difficult. It's one of the most technically demanding skills in the industry. Companies are willing to pay more because very few divers ever master it. Projects also become larger. Instead of working close to shore, divers travel to hydroelectric dams, large construction sites, and offshore terminals. Some assignments last only a day, while others keep crews away from home for weeks. The job demands flexibility, long hours, and a willingness to work wherever the next contract takes them. With every successful project, opportunities grow. Employers begin assigning more responsibility. Supervisors trust experienced divers with complex operations, and the pay starts reflecting that experience. At this point, commercial diving is no longer just a physically demanding job. It's becoming a highly specialized technical career with opportunities that very few professions can offer. The biggest turning point in a commercial diver's career comes when offshore opportunities appear. Working around oil platforms, underwater pipelines, and deep-sea infrastructure is completely different from diving in rivers or ports. The projects are larger, the equipment is more advanced, and the responsibility increases dramatically. Some divers eventually qualify for saturation diving, one of the most demanding jobs in the world. Instead of returning to the surface after every dive, saturation divers live inside a pressurized chamber for days or even weeks. They travel to the work site using a diving bell and spend hours repairing pipelines, valves, and underwater structures hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface. It's physically and mentally demanding, but it's also one of the highest-paying specialties in commercial diving. Not every diver chooses this path. Many build successful careers working on bridges, dams, ports, hydroelectric plants, and marine construction projects. Others specialize in underwater inspections using advanced sonar systems and remotely operated vehicles. As technology evolves, commercial divers continue learning throughout their entire careers. With years of experience, many divers move into leadership roles. They become dive supervisors, project coordinators, or safety managers responsible for planning every operation before anyone enters the water. At this stage, experience becomes just as valuable as technical skill. Knowing when not to dive can be more important than completing the job. Income also changes significantly over time. Entry-level divers earn solid wages, but experienced professionals with advanced certifications, offshore experience, and specialized skills can earn several times more. The highest-paying contracts usually involve remote locations, deep water operations, and complex industrial projects where only a small number of divers are qualified to work. But the career comes with sacrifices. Long periods away from home, unpredictable schedules, Physically exhausting work and constant exposure to challenging environments become part of everyday life. Commercial diving offers excellent opportunities, but it demands commitment, discipline, and respect for safety from the very first day until retirement. So, is it worth it? For the right person, absolutely. Commercial diving isn't about exploring the ocean. It's about solving problems where almost nobody else can work. Every bridge that stays safe, every ship that returns to service, and every offshore platform that continues producing depends on skilled professionals willing to work beneath the surface. From a nervous beginner making a first descent into dark water to a respected specialist trusted with multi-million-dollar operations, every level of a commercial diver's career is earned through training, experience, and discipline. It's not the easiest path, but for those who make it to the top, it's one of the most unique and rewarding careers in the industrial world. If you enjoyed discovering how this career really works, don't forget to subscribe. Every week, we explore another profession from entry level to the top, revealing the skills, challenges, and opportunities behind some of the world's most fascinating careers.